Good evening, Toastmasters and fellow guests. I'm going to ask you all a question. When I ask you this question, I like to get a show of hands who all agrees with this question. And the question I'm going to ask you is this. How many of you value your freedom? Let me get a show of hands. Everybody's hand just shot up right there. I'm going to explain to you exactly why I'm so passionate about freedom. But before I do that, my name's Zachary, and I'm an ex-drug addict and alcoholic. And I spent over 5 years of my life in prison. And before I get into that, I'm going to give you just a little background on myself. My father died when I was 7, and every single day, for as long as I can remember, my mother would always tell me, you can do anything you put your mind to. She borrowed belief in me when I didn't have it myself. Now in school, I was the textbook version of the kid heading nowhere fast. If I even made it to class, which was very rare, I was told that I wasn't going to amount to anything, which I deserved that. By age 17, I started catching felony cases. And by age 19, I was a full-blown drug addict. And I was on my way to prison for 4 years flat on a 7-year sentence. Every single day, I would wake up in a concrete block surrounded by barbed wire fences, and I was told what to do by correctional officers in blue uniform and gold badges when I could stand, when I could sit, when I could eat, when I could sleep, when I could use the restroom. No freedom at all. And I say this, I don't want you to feel sorry for me, because I don't feel sorry for myself. I chose to go there. I say this to drive a point home, hopefully. After serving 4 years flat, I came home to nothing. And I got a job at a bar and grill as a cook, working 50 to 60 hours a week. Shortly thereafter, I got a job on the sales team at a clothing store. And I got promoted right away because I was really good at what I did. I put in my 2 weeks at the bar and grill where I had some stability in my life. And a couple days after that, I get a phone call being notified that I was being terminated because of my felony conviction record. Now I should have just kept grinding, keeping my chin up, and searching for other opportunity. But I decided to throw a pity party, and I started feeling sorry for myself. And I started drinking heavily and became an alcoholic. A few months after that, I received a DWI. And just a few months after that, I woke up in the City of Ferguson Police Department from an alcohol-induced blackout to learn that I was heading back to prison. 20 days before my twin sons were born. I felt like my world was ending. I was getting ready to miss my kids being born. I made a decision right there that I was going to rebuild my life right at rock bottom. After serving 8 months, I came back home to nothing. No money, job, work history, special education, nothing. What I had were 2 mouths to feed, a bunch of bills to pay, and a burning desire to be successful that catapulted me into taking massive action. I started searching for a job rigorously. When I say rigorously, I'm talking 5 to 20 applications a day, 7 days a week, yielding 0 results. This went on for about a month and a half till a gentleman reached out to me about a home-based business opportunity in direct sales that forever changed my life. But I was desperate, I was hungry, and I was ready. Over the course of the last 2 years and a half, I went on to publish my first title on Amazon, Prison to Promised Land. And in my book, Prison to Promised Land, I give a detailed account of my life and the transformation I made, and I follow it up with 5 principles for success that I use to this day that you can apply to your own life right away. Every single day, for as long as I can remember, my mother would always tell me, you can do anything you put your mind to. And because of her, I believe it. Now, when I started, I asked you all who valued their freedom, and everybody's hand shot up like it had a string on it. I'm going to ask you one more question, and you don't have to raise your hand this time. I just want you to think about it. Every day, when you wake up, and before you go and do what you're about to do that day, do you truly feel free? If you can answer yes to that, then you're doing the right thing. Thank you, Madam Ghostmaster.